Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 83 of Direwolf20's Server Play series. I am logging into the server and getting myself some more Forsicum. This stuff is actually really needed right now because I realized I ran out. So earlier today I made a discovery, something I didn't realize. This security setup I have here takes a lot more EU than I thought. Like the force fields use almost nothing compared to how much the security defense stations use. It uses a ton, believe it or not. So I need to start getting more energy. Like my nuclear reactor isn't enough. How crazy is that? Absolutely true, though. Not enough in the nuclear reactor to do what we want to do. So I logged in earlier today to find my nuclear reactor completely out of, or almost out of fuel. So this is the fuel rods that I replaced last episode. Look how empty they almost are. And I actually had a big part of my system disabled for a majority of the day. Like I logged in, saw how much power it was draining, and I'm like, okay, I did not expect it to be that much. So let me show you guys what I'm doing. Also, Flora is here, but she's not talking at the moment because somebody's sleeping at her house and she doesn't want to wake them up. And then Tog is here too. What's up?
Oh, I found...
not on the server anymore. What's up?
I found another thing you can do with Versicium Cell. And also, did you know that there was a guidebook in your MFFS tool if you sneak click? And
oh yeah, I did. Has he added to that though? Because last time I saw it, it was like, this is a guidebook, and that's all it said.
Oh, yeah, there's like 4 pages to it, and they start at 0, which is kind of weird, but...
Oh, yeah, right. Oh, that's cool. Oh, you have to right-click it while it's in your inventory. That's cool, and it can store how much? 1,000? That is really cool. I have to make one of those. I did not know that happened. Okay, now I understand how force. That's cool. Okay, so that actually has 2 uses then. That energy cell.
Yeah, I mean you can charge it up from excess EU, but you can also apparently charge it up faster from the Versicium.
Right. So I have to make one of those because that is cool. I'll have to use that because I just threw a hopper on top of my extractor and threw 4 stacks of that in there. But being able to store 1,000 at once is even better. That's a lot of stacks. So anyway, I have to wait for this to finish recharging because I logged in earlier, found that the power was an issue, so I had, you know, toned down how much I was using. Then I logged in to find all my force fields off and discovered that my Forsicum is completely empty. So I was out of force energy again. So I'm actually wondering if Richard G did break in here and steal all my energy, or if the energy just drained because I left everything on last episode. But one way or another, he did sneak in and start messing with my computer. So he was trolling me a little bit, and I will still get him back. But yeah, he might not have broken through the wall and stole energy. But still. Anyway, so once this refills, I'll be able to use my EU reader to tell me how much EU is actually being used. Because right now it's draining like just tons of EU straight across. It's tons, right? So like, if we give it a little bit here, you know, it's just draining as much as it can to get the force energy filled back up. But once the force energy is filled back up, we can activate an individual system to see how much it's using. So as a stopgap, as a way to help myself out, I've decided to implement a solar system that's going to help hang out inside here. So you can see I made a medium voltage solar array. Spent a little time off camera making these because there's a lot of steps involved, as you guys know, which is why I have a little bit of rubber in my inventory right now. I need a lot more rubber than I currently have, so that's going to be probably time for a rubber farm, maybe. I keep saying I'm going to make a rubber farm and never do. But a medium voltage solar array isn't enough. Like the 64 EU per tick is not really much compared to how much I need. Like, I'm pretty sure I need in like the 200 to 300 range EU per tick. So HV solar array, very much possibly in the future. And that thing is connected to the power line down here, just right there. See? So he's just hanging out on the floor. And I will put a Red Power 2 cover on him because Red Power 2 covers do not block the light. They're like not opaque or something like that. So the solar array will still run. So let me wait for this thing to charge. And I won't turn on my force fields anywhere. But I do want to make one of those Forsicum cells, because that sounds cool. So I just need, oh, poor Tog. What are you doing, buddy? Did you know you get slain by wisps a lot?
Yes, I did.
Alright, just wanted to make sure you knew that, because I wasn't sure if you were aware. Like, just how often that happens.
Way too often for my liking.
Yeah, like, did you make maybe, like, an electronic, or one of those lightning rod things yet?
No.
You should make a lightning rod. Like, they're pretty useful. Lightning wands do a good job of killing wisps. Alright, so according to the instruction manual, which was pretty cool, by the way. I like that. Version check, huh? That's neat. Oh, he's going to have something in here so he can tell you what the latest version is, so you can check. That's kind of cool. And then it tells you this stuff. Nice. This little table of contents thing is very nice. Alright, so, yoink, stealing, you know, a handful of these. So if I just right-click this dude... Oh, look at that. Active, inactive. I see. Okay. That's cool. So I can just do this, right? Or no, I don't want to do that. So right now I've got, you know, force to come in here. I right-click this guy, it turns it on, and it'll start draining out of my inventory. How cool is that? Good find, Tog. And thus it drains. That is pretty cool, actually. I like that a lot. I am going to use that. Haha. Alright, so I will let this thing charge up, wait for my extractor to charge up, and then get to some new building. I probably want to work on Security Zone 1 today. Like I said, it's not going to be actually locked down with force fields. It's going to be open access to anybody, including Richard G, believe it or not. He's going to be invited to Zone 1, but I don't think I'm going to give him much more access beyond that. Alright guys, I'll be back. Alright guys, I am back. There's something I want to do in this episode. I want to work on and build. I need to go get something though, and it's something I've never gotten and done before. I'm going to go over here to what's labeled our Wither Farm. Dun dun dun. This is a farm that some people built, and look at this. It's got a tier 5 skeleton spawner, and it just drops the skeletons straight down. And then we've got some pretty nifty transposers down there, I presume, that pick these items up on a, you know, every so often tick. And then we can come over here and see things getting collected. So we have 640 stacks of bones. Did you know that? We also have a ton of arrows and some wither skulls. Yoink, yoink, yoink. So guess what I'm here for? That's right, the wither skulls. And oh, look at that, all the weapons get collected in here. That's kind of cool. Maybe I'll take a bow and some arrows and stuff and see what kind of trouble I can have with that. I'm pretty sure my mining laser is going to do any more damage than a bow and arrow, but, like, you know, let's pretend like we're doing some fun here. I also have 30 levels. Should I enchant my bow? That could be fun. I feel like maybe I want to do that. I mean,
I would say it's highly recommended.
I mean, I'm probably just going to die to the wither, and might as well use my levels now while I have them. I really wanted, like, an EXP bank. Like, don't we have some mod that adds that somewhere? I got Power 4 and Flame 1. That sounds like a pretty good enchant. I assume Flame 1 equals fire? Yeah, it does. Nice. So I got 3 wither skulls, which I need to spawn a wither. Because I need one of those little nether star thingies. That's where I get those, right? Nether stars are from withers?
Correct.
Yep.
Yay, I know something about vanilla. And Morvalaria joined us, by the way. What's up, Morv?
Oh, nothing much. How you doing?
Good. I'm just chilling. I'm pretty sure I have soul sand around here somewhere. Somewhere. Maybe not. Maybe I'm lying about having soul sand somewhere. Pretty excited that I have an enchanted bow now. Hey, there's Dog. Also, I was cooking up some rubber. Oh yeah, I knew I had some more force to come around there somewhere. I'm just gonna go down to the nether through this portal and collect some soul sand manually. So yeah, gotta kill the wither. So I don't have to spawn the wither in the nether, right? I can spawn him wherever I want.
Correct.
Even better. I'm going to spawn them in a new digger. Kind of far away from everybody in the main base area. Because I don't want, you know, explosions and stuff to be a problem. That looks like soul sand. Oh, and there's our skeleton spawner thingy. That's neat. So I need a total of 4 soul sand, if I recall correctly.
Yes.
Nice. I'm just going to grab a bunch of extra soul sand just because it's good to have this stuff. Ah, there's things attacking me. And they're red, and they're bats.
Rawr!
Which one adds red bats? That's not vanilla, right?
That's not vanilla, no.
I believe I heard that was Thaumcraft.
I've heard like 3 different theories on what it is, so I really don't know.
Yeah, I need to know which mod adds red bats, because that sounds crazy. Alright, so I have to spawn the Wither. Now, I did come up with a pretty neat and interesting way to spawn Withers and kill them nice and quickly, but I feel like the first Wither I ever fight ever, and this is true, like, I'm not lying here, I've never in my life spawned a Wither. And here I just thought this chunk wasn't loading, but it's in fact a quarry. I should spawn him in the quarry and fight him down there. That would be cool. I like the idea of fighting the Wither in the quarry. Though I can't really run around too well because of the old broken flooring, but, you know, I feel like that's a good battle arena. Why?
At least be a fun one.
Yeah, right? I mean, that sounds like a good time to me.
And when I finally get around to fighting a Wither myself, I might have to do that.
Right? Maybe I want to flatten out this terrain just a little bit, or no, that's okay. I should just spawn a Wither. Never, ever fought a Wither before. I have no idea what I'm in for. All I know is how to spawn one right now.
I await the screams of terror.
I feel like that's probably going to be pretty accurate as to what happens. So, like, I can fly away. Hopefully I don't die. Do I have anything on me that's terribly worthwhile to not lose? Because, like, I don't think I'm going to lose it, but, you know. Maybe I want to put all my stuff away that I don't need to have on me right now. That feels like a good plan. Alright. To the Dire base. I don't need this whole bag of stuff, and probably don't even need this stuff. Anything else on here I'm not terribly concerned with losing. It wouldn't be terribly hard to replace, except my gravity suit, but that's what allows me to fly, so I feel like that's going to give me quite the tactical advantage against the Wither. You don't really expect me to fight the Wither like, you know, fair, do you?
I wouldn't.
Not with vanilla items. Like, I'm going to use mods to kill the Wither. That's for sure. Did I leave my laser in the chest? Yeah, I think I should have my laser on me. Laser might be a good one to have. Okay, most of my items are safe, ready to spawn a Wither. Again, never done this before. This thing can fly, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. He can't fly as fast as me, though. Ha! I presume.
I don't think so.
I don't know,
I feel
but
great
he
now.
certainly makes things explode.
Yeah. Well, I'm fighting him at bedrock, so...
Okay.
That's part of why I'm fighting him in this, what I call the Wither arena now, because bedrock.
I don't...
Oh, boy. That's scary. Where'd that guy come from?
You still sound disappointingly calm.
Well,
Yeah.
he's doing things. Where'd he go? What the heck is this? He's all over the place. Alright. No more being nice. Alright, long range laser mode. Oh, that's right. I've got a nice sword, don't I, Mr. Wither? And you would like to die today. That's right, I can fly too. Your flying is nothing. I'm not gonna lie, this mob is pretty fun. I'm pretty sure this would be a horrible experience without mods, though.
I have to say, you're probably right.
Like, without the ability to fly and quantum armor and... Ouch, that hurt a little bit. Not really, because I'm wearing quantum armor. Without the ability to fly in quantum armor, this would probably be a really painful fight. Oh, that didn't seem to do much, did it? Nice. Alright, now where's my nether star?
You got him?
I killed him, I just don't see another star. Is that a guaranteed drop?
I believe it is.
Yeah, I didn't really see one drop. I mean, I killed him in, like, the middle of the air, so I'm sure it fell really far, but... Where to is the question. Maybe fighting him over bedrock was not the best idea. Because now there's all these craters I have to look in to find the nether star and where it might have fallen to. That was not it. I might have to spawn another one if I can't find this nether star.
Yeah, it's not a random chance. You get exactly one.
Yeah, guaranteed.
Yeah.
Alright, YouTube, I'm going to explore for another star. Wait, what's that? Oh no, it's just a piece of this. Interesting. Wherefore art thou, nether star? I wonder if there's entities on the ground, so I can just see when I'm got an entity in my view range. That could work, right? Oh, there it is! Nether star! Nice! Yay! The entity trick worked, believe it or not.
Well, it's a good trick to keep in mind for me then.
Yeah. So I have a neat idea for like a wither killing farm, but I don't know if I'm gonna implement that yet. But it would be like totally cheating. Like this was cheating, that would be totally cheating. Like 0 risk. But that was
that was
cool.
Secret of that then.
That was pretty neat. All right, I've got a wither thingy nether star thing. So I'm going to use this to make the peripheral that I'm going to hook up to this monitor. So this guy is telling me how my force field status is. This guy is going to give me the status of my nuclear reactors and my MFSUs in a nice fancy format. You know, and I'll do like I did last time, you know, programming off camera, come on to show you the final result. I think that's been working pretty well for us. Also, how's my EU status? All right, good. Cool. So got my nether star, happy about that. You know, quite the fun fight. Let's get into EU reading and all that fun stuff. So I'm going to put this guy over here. I'm going to keep my soul sand in here just because that's a good place for it. So, EU reading. Currently, no EU should be traveling through this wire. Ignore that amount of ticks because that was an average over a long period of time. So, no energy being drained at this point, right? What I'm going to do to really make this hit home is the following. So, see? Nothing. 0. Nothing in and out. Now, if I just turn on a door, door zone 4, online. Boom. Turning on the door, you can start to see this draining just a little bit of power. Like, note, like right now, there's about 9K force energy over the max of 1 million. So look how little is actually moving there. Not at all, right? You can clearly see that this thing is not changing. How about, give it a few seconds here. Come on, do something. Now, I'm not going to measure this because it does it in bursts. Like when that jumped up to 109K, it sent a big packet of energy through, and now it's not sending anything through until this drops below 100. So we just hit 108, or 1008. So let's wait for this to drop below 1000 again, and then I should be able to get an accurate-ish reading. All right, TLDR, this is taking forever. Do not like how long this is taking, so I'm just going to accelerate this. Long story short, barely uses energy to keep the doors on. So even if I turn all 3 doors online, boom and boom, so doors 2 and 3 should be activating now. You can see 2's on over there. If we check our reading now, we should be able to see that, like, yeah, it's using a bit of energy, but it's still, like, you know, not moving all that much. So definitely like 3 times as fast, but not that big a deal. Now let's watch what happens if I turn off my doors and just put on zone 4 security. Boom, online. So right now I've got the security station right here activated. You can tell because it's red. Let's see what's happening with my energy now. Oh boy, that's a lot of energy use. Look at it, it's like constantly running. If I threw an EU reader down here, ignore this number for a moment. Yoink, that number means nothing. Let's give it a few seconds here to see how much energy is really going through this line. So if I give it a little bit of time, okay, dum-diddy-dum. Now we get a reading. We should see that it's using about 50 EU per tick to keep security zone 4 online. That's a lot. Jump up to security zones 2 and 3 being online, and now we're really draining energy, like a ton, way more than I thought. So security stations use a lot of energy here. I'm going to go ahead and reset the reading. So again, ignore this number of 100 because that's not accurate. It's probably around 150 now because we're probably just going to estimate tripling that 50 EU per tick for 1 station. For 3 stations, to be honest, probably going to be around 150 EU per tick average. Yeah, 135. So I didn't wait too long. If I had waited longer, it would have been a little bit more accurate of information. So you can see the force energy is quickly draining here. This guy is also draining. Look at that. You know, just not being able to keep up because the only thing on right now supplying power is the solar array. That's always going to supply power. The nuclear reactor will not turn on until this guy drops to 0. So the nuclear reactor is going to be more my backup system, and the solar energy is going to be my primaries. So I need way more rubber and a lot more resources actually. Like building those solar arrays is not cheap. So let's get my security settings off for now. There we go. And I will be back in a few. Alright guys, I am back. And I am making a couple of fun little gadgets. I think that was about what I need to make. I have to get the sensor cards. Alright, 2 here and 1 there. Okay, that was completely off. Well, not terribly completely. And then I need 2 energy sensor kits, which is just going to be some of this. Here, here, and here. I need 2 of you, please. 1, 2. So I've got those guys, and then it's basically paper and frequency transmitters. So frequency transmitters are pretty easy to make. There we go. Nice. So frequency transmitter, EU reader. I should have paper around here somewhere. Cool. So these will be the cards that go in here to read my cool stuff. So energy sensor kit, 2 energies, and this guy for the sensor readings for temperature. Cool. Now what I need is a thermal, reactor, nuclear, there's the word I was looking for, information readers. These are the peripherals that you can wrap your computers to, and they'll read out information on the display there. So it'll be pretty nice to see like a big, cool like display monitor. You know, I'll probably have like a 1-second delay where it'll refresh and stuff. So for a tier 2, I needed that nether star. So let's get a tier 1 going first. I need an Eye of Ender, some gold, some redstone, and range upgrades. Oh boy, this is going to be fun. I should be able to handle that though. Let's see. Got one of you guys and some of this stuff. Alright, some gold. Definitely some redstone. And I needed the industrial guy. So I need black and green dye. That's going to be interesting to see if I can track some of that down. And range upgrades. That's not so bad. I can do range upgrades, no problem. Black and green dye, believe it or not, is the thing I'm going to have trouble tracking down. Alright, so why don't I... Oh, I've got a couple... Yeah, that should be cool. That'll work. 2 of them. Just need some green dye. I'll track some down. I'm sure there's cactus out here somewhere. And I'll be back in a few once I, you know, take care of getting this stuff. Alright, I am making the last components here. Some green and some white. Should get me some lime. Oh, that's good. I only needed 1 of each. Nice. So lime, dye, ready to go. So industrial information panel with the Eye of Ender, which I think I left over in a... Oh, no, it's here. Alright. Eye of Ender, some gold, some range upgrades, and what was the bottom one? Redstone. Oh, that's not so bad. Any redstone in here? Here? Okay, so that's tier 1. Now the tier 1 nuclear information, you can put 1 card in it. Boom. But the cool thing is the tier 2, you can put multiple cards. So there's 2 ways to do this, right? I want to do 3 sensor kits. So I could have done 3 tier 1s, but I decided, you know what, let's have fun and kill the wither. And then I can make a tier 2 and have all 3 in there. And room for 6 more if I need to, but I don't think I'll need that. So tier 2 is the Nether Star with 4 diamonds. That's the expensive part. Brutal. I think I've got some diamonds here. Cool. Grabbed a few extra. Alright, so 4 diamonds. And the Nether Star. And the tier 1 nuclear information reader. And then just some of these guys, which is lime dye with wood and glass panes. Okay, I can handle that. I've got some glass panes in one of these dudes. And I need 3 of these, so I need 1 more cactus dye and bone meal, which I should be able to handle. I got more than I needed. That's changed from normal. And some wood. Yeah, no, I just noticed I had wood in on me. But, oh well, what are you gonna do? 1, 2, 3. Here goes nothing. Tier 2 reader. There we go. Nice. Alright, cleaning up inventory and coming back in a second. Alright, I am back, and I'm placing this guy right back here behind the computer that has now 9 slots for the sensors that's connected to this monitor. So here's the computer that's actually going to be doing stuff. I don't really need a wireless modem on this. Like, this guy will do all the work by himself. He doesn't have to communicate with the whole, you know, zone thing. But maybe we'll have something happen. I don't know. We'll see. But for now, sensor kit application is pretty easy. Just got to right-click on things, and you get a sensor card. So this sensor card hooked up to this dude. This sensor card hooked up to this dude. And let's see. I thought I could name these or something. I might be able to. You know what? I think I can put them somewhere. That's cool. So, yeah. That's at 596. And 595. Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, so this one here, and yeah, there we go. That's the right one. And the left one. See, it's rounding up. Okay, that'll work. So in here, I'll just put the reactor on slot 1, the leftmost guy, which is the one that typically is always full, and then the one on the right here is kind of your reactor control MFSU. Is this thing running yet? No, it's not. Good. Okay, so that's how we'll do that. Okay, so this is the one that should always be full. This is the one that should kind of toggle on and off your reactor when it gets low, down to 0. So, back in a few. And just to note, guys, I came to the overworld where I have one of these industrial information panels, and I'm putting names on these guys. So, like, here, I'm just going to put this guy as MFFS nuke and hit enter. Is that how I do that? Okay, yeah, it seemed to work. Cool. And look, it has a little tooltip on it now, MFFS nuke. This is the one that was the 2 extractor. Enter. Cool. And then this guy was the one that was the buffer. Enter. Cool. Alright, I'm leaving so you can sleep, Tog. Okay, so now I decided I actually wanted to name them because I know this block can read the names. So real quick, I'm going to make a little program. So 2 extractor and buffer. Okay, I'm going to make a real quick program to get this to work. I'll be back once I've written it. It's real short as a demo. Alright guys, when I was talking about a simple program, this was it. Simply wrap the peripheral on the back, and we store 4 variables: UID, which is a unique identifier, the state of the card, the name of the card, and the data that the card has on it. So like, you know, you can see the name is the MFFS nuke. State, I think, is whether it's working or not, like true or false, functional. And then I'm going to print out everything in that data table. What I could really even do is print here title, and then we'll see what happens. So when I run test, it should call it the MFFS nuke, and heat MFFS nuke attempt to connect. Okay, that's cool. I just need to toString this. There we go. Oh, I put that inside the loop, didn't I? Derpy Dyer is derpy. Because I was printing the title on every loop instead of before the loop. That's what I get for rushing. So, MFFS nuke. Heat is currently 0. Reactor powered, it's false. Max heat 10,000. Time left 918. Output 0. So you can see there's very little time left because and that's 918 ticks. That's because the uranium cells are almost empty. So that's what it's telling me. So that's the kind of information that I can print on the monitor. Now if I wrapped this, and that's the nuclear reactor card. Now if I wrap this to the energy sensor location, all I have to do is say slot 2. So edit test and tell it now to read from slot 2. And we'll run test again. See? That's the 2 extractor card. So that's the MFSU that goes to the extractor. Energy level, a little bit over 10 million. That's just because of the way things are stored. Remember, it stores packets of 512 at a time. So it just, you know, goes a little bit over 10 million sometimes. I guess that's like a behind-the-scene type of thing. And then I could do, you know, number 3 and see where you're at. So we can see that guy is not quite full just yet. He's slowly filling up because right now the reactor is offline and it's just the 64 EU per tick from the medium voltage storage array that's filling that guy up. So that is neat. So now I'm going to write a program that will display this fancy information on this monitor. So I'll be back. Alright guys, so just manually wrote a program that, and I'm manually typing in like true or false if the reactor's on, the number of reactor ticks, and the current energy stored in each MFSU. Like I'm not reading the peripheral yet, but I'm just demonstrating how the monitor is going to look. So how does that look? Not bad. What's the max ticks that a reactor can have? 10,000?
No. You mean how long can it run?
Yeah.
I think it's way more than 10,000. Maybe not.
Yeah, I think it's 10,000 is the max run. So I just want to see how 10,000 looks when it's displayed here. See, that cuts off, so I need to move this back a little bit. Not that big a deal. Could actually move it down if I wanted to. Not hard to do either. Look at this. So I just need to do, so status of nuclear reactors at 2.4, and then remaining ticks is at 24. I'll just make this 2.5. And then I'm going to bump this guy down to 7, 8. Just going to see how this looks. 9, 10. So how does that look? Ooh, that looks cool. I like the way that looks. I want to see if I bump this down one more level, but I think I like the way that looks. Tog, you have OCD. Come tell me how this looks. You were talking a minute ago. Where'd you go?
Yeah, I'm coming.
Okay, good. Also, this did not update. I could have just teleported you too if you want. Did I give you level 4 security clearance? I don't think it matters because my force field's off at the moment.
I don't think you did.
Oh, well, you can come in because the security's offline at the moment. So how do you like that displayed on the screen? Up here. Well, both actually, but...
Is it... Oh, you have different things?
Yeah. You like the formatting of this one? Not too shabby, right?
Yeah. I like the nice colored screens.
Alright, we're way past the wrapping up point for this episode, so let me real quick make the changes to this code to make it actually read the information, and I'll be back. Alright guys, check it out. I have the energy status program running, and it looks like it's working pretty well here. Yeah, I have it outputting to this screen. Looks like it failed to read at one point, but that's not that big a deal. But it's outputting, and the reactor is not online, as you can see, and both energy units are full. How cool is that? Now, what I'm going to do is actually turn on my security zone, so we start draining our MFSU, and then we should start seeing some numbers drop. So status is currently offline, ticks, okay, current energy levels. All right, so with all our... Did I just turn on doors, or that's the security zones, right? Alright, cool. So with the security zones offline, I should be draining a lot of energy. So there we go, you can see it starting to drop. Sweet. Now, are you going to update, or what? Oh, okay, there we go. Cool. So, looks like it's properly updating here. I might be updating a little too often. I'm updating once a second. That's what my program does. Like if I were to end this guy at the moment. Basically, it connects to the first card and gets whether or not it's on and how much time is left. It connects to the second card and gets the energy level, and then it connects to the third card and gets the energy level. And then it runs that monitor program, and it also prints the output, but now that was more of a debug thing. And now I could, let's sleep for 2 seconds. And run Reactor Mon. Cool. So now that guy won't output to that screen, but it will output here. Cool. That is pretty neat. I like that a lot. That is so cool. Now if I were to turn on my nuclear reactor, let's do this real quick. Watch. So what I could do if I wanted to, this is the one that, you know, capacitor full. So this is when empty, toggle this thing, right? So if I just toggle him real quick, look at that, he's on and running. So now our thing over here should say online, remaining ticks, 913, and we should see my current energy level climbing. So you can see, because I'm sleeping every 2 seconds, the ticks are going down by 2. Remember, reactor ticks are not Minecraft ticks. Let's edit Reactor Mon again and just make it a 1 second delay. That should be enough. I mean, I don't think I'm like killing anything processor-wise here. Cool. So yeah, basically, that is pretty neat. Look at that, every second it updates. Oh look, and then we filled up, and you can see it instantly turned to offline because the MFSU filled, and this guy toggled. Nice. Once this thing fills up, toggles off the reactor, everything working the way I expect it to. How cool is that? So yeah, I think this is a good wrapping up point for episode 83. So hope you guys enjoyed checking out episode 83 of Direwolf20's Server Play series. Definitely come back next time. Now that I've got these 2 monitoring systems in place and working pretty well, actually, I'm happy. I like it. So, you know, like I said, got to get to round 1 out there. The first zone security, got to get a bunch of other things going, but we're way past the wrapping up point. So, Direwolf20 signing off. Take it easy.